Alright guys, it is Monday afternoon. Got to go to work here in a couple hours for my nightly class. They're putting in what looks to be a new power pole, which means we should have more electricity needs, or we should have more electricity for our needs, I should say. Earlier, down there, somebody was running a big cable or line. You can still see it a little bit. You can't see it in the camera, but you can see it a little bit over there. I'm assuming when they start hooking everything up, that means I'm going to lose power for a little while. It's usually the way it works. Yeah. I hope they do it safely. That's all I got to say. Alright guys, as you can see, they got the pole up. That's it right there. Got the wire. Big thick wire running all the way down yonder. Coming off the big spool. I did not lose power, so that's a good thing. Of course, the night is not done. However, I am on my way to work. So if I do lose power, I will not know about it until I come home and want to sit in front of the fan, and I will not be able to. Let's hope that doesn't happen. So far, so good. Got some more good news today. Earlier, my boss called. We had a full-time teacher at the school. He said she has already left. I'm not sure of the circumstances or anything, but she is no longer there. And I had put an ad for a teacher in several groups on Facebook, but apparently they couldn't find anybody they liked. So he asked me if I wanted to take over those classes, and of course I said yes. I was looking for a few more hours, and you have to be careful what you wish for. My new hours will now be teaching 8 to 12-year-old children, 3 hours in the morning from 7:30 to 10:30, 3 hours in the afternoon from 1:30 to 4:30, and then of course I'll still go in and do my night classes for the adults and my Saturday and Sunday 2-hour classes for the adults. That's pretty awesome. It's going to be almost a whole 40 hours every week, which is really uncommon. The average to be considered full-time here for foreign teachers, full-time is usually considered 25 hours, teaching hours a week. Yeah, so I am actually going to be full-time Western style, that many hours, or real close to it. Back where I come from, full-time was considered 40 hours or more. So I'm real close to that mark, which is great. A lot more money for me. The hours are great. 3 hours off, you know, for lunch, what they call lunch. 10:30 to 1:30, I can do whatever I want, as long as it's legal and doesn't involve alcohol, obviously, which I wouldn't do anyway. So, essentially, when I came over here, I started out with no job. Then I had a part-time job that didn't really pay anything much. And then I got a job here. Then I got a job here that paid, like I said, $10 an hour, which was great. Not quite full-time, but that was all right. And now I will be working a full-time job doing something that I really love, which is teaching. And I'm very happy with that. I figured I'd show you what my walk to work looks like every day. That's one thing I'm gonna have to figure out. Can't really afford a tuk-tuk there and back, there and back, there and back. So there is going to be a little bit more walking involved than I would like to, simply because when you're teaching, you're standing up. So that's something to consider. And then walking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in the heat, that could be a little tiring. But the money I have, I can eventually buy a motorbike. Maybe in a month and a half. Because I want to make sure I get a good one. But yeah, there's going to be a lot more walking involved during the day. Because, especially since my other class at night starts at 6:30. So I will teach until 4:30. And I will probably not walk home from between 4:30 and 6:30. I mean, they have businesses and restaurants over there by where the school is. So I don't see any reason to, by the time I walk home and walk back, you know, won't really give me enough time to rest. So I will just stick around for 1:30 until my last class is done at 7:30 before heading home. The other thing is that the adults I teach, the classes I teach, come with a set curriculum. There are certain words every day we have to learn and pronunciate and practice with, usually between 15 and 20, and then we use them in sentences. We practice back and forth with each other, teacher to student, and then I pair them off and have them repeat those sentences, student to student, and then reverse the roles, and then we move on to a different sentence with some of the other words that we just learned. So but I was told with the classes I have with the children, I will have to be providing the lesson plans, which is okay. One good thing about my TEFL course that I always tell people is that you will do a lot of lesson plans. They will they will have you doing one or two every week. So you really learn how to do an hour-long lesson plan for different types of learners too. You know, beginner, advanced, intermediate, that kind of thing. Different age levels. It's part of why I always recommend the International TEFL Academy if you want to take your TEFL, because you will learn how to do all this properly. So I don't mind the lesson plans, but for tomorrow, when I will start, my plan is to go in there and kind of find out where they're at from their previous teacher. I'm just going to do some preliminary things, find out what they know, what they don't know, and that'll give me something to focus on when I do my lesson plans for the rest of the week. A lot of teachers don't like doing lesson plans. I really don't mind it. I like the organization it takes to do them, because even though they're separate plans, you're learning separate words, different sentences, different parts of speech, etc. it's almost like a puzzle you got to figure out, because they should all build on top of one another. So what they learned on Tuesday, you might be using different things on Wednesday, but it should be built upon the things you learned Tuesday, if you know what I mean. It should be consecutive. So I really like that thinking process, because you have to think a little bit. You know, you do numbers one day, and then you move right into like something like verbs or nouns the next day, which would have nothing to do with the numbers. You would have to find some way to incorporate those numbers into the next lesson plan, while also teaching them something new. So I like that challenge. I really like doing lesson plans, but it is going to take time to do that. So when I'm there between 4:30 and starting my class at 6:30, that is probably what I'll be doing. I'll just sit up there in the office and do my lesson plans for the next day for the children. But between the morning and afternoon class, I'll probably just walk home. Because 3 hours, yeah. Gonna have to go home and get something to eat. And all that good stuff. So apparently that storm, the last time I made a video when I was walking down here, I was in that storm, that windstorm that was blowing things all over and covering me in dust, blowing over umbrellas and carts and waste cans. But apparently somebody posted a picture that of something that looked kind of like a tornado on that day. And a lot of people were talking about that particular storm, how it just kind of came out of nowhere, and it was pretty brutal for this time of year, they said. Now, tornadoes are not completely unheard of in Cambodia, but they're very rare. They're not a very common thing at all. Couldn't be for sure if the picture was a tornado. The guy did not say it was. The poster, I mean, did not say it was. But he said it looked an awful lot like one, and it was from a picture he had taken on that day. A little bit too far back to know for sure, but kind of makes sense. Could have had a little, maybe a little mini tornado. Blowing things around here. But anyway, more good news. There's something else too, but I'm not going to tell you right now. I have to talk to somebody here at the school. But if that works out, then in my next clip I will have even more good news on top of my good news. We shall see what happens. Anyway, just got to go up here around the corner, cross the street, and I'll be there. Right now, according to my phone, it's been 13 minutes so far. A little shy of 13 minutes. So yeah, 20 minutes is about right. I kept saying I was going to put on a timer, figure out how long it takes me to walk at a normal pace to school. And then of course I never did. But yeah, all I gotta do is go up here, go around the corner, cross the highway, and I'm at the school. So probably be a little bit shy of 20 minutes. That's a nice little walk. Not too far, but just far enough so you start to really feel the sweat. I like it. Okay, so I'll let you know about the other news if it occurs. I'll talk to you later. All right, guys, in case you can't tell, I am in the school right now. I'm actually in the school. First day of my classes with the children, and we have somebody who wanted to say the proper British lady, Helen. One of my buddies is from the UK, and he said, "Oh, I'm from the UK. See if you can get Helen on the..." And I said, "She's kind of camera shy, but there you go, buddy. There's our proper British lady teacher right there. And there's somebody. I'm not sure who. I'm not sure who he is. Not sure who he is. But anyway, this is our play time, our play area. Hello. Hello. Like I said, it's coming along. They got some mats on the floor, which is good. And they love that slide. Man, they love that slide. Oh. Woo. I just thought I'd show you a little bit of this. Almost time to get back to class. The other good news I was talking about yesterday did not come through yet, so I'll explain what that is in a later video. But I'll end this one now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.